What's going on, everybody on YouTube? Steve here, Raiken Profit over at RaikenProfit.com, coming back to you guys with another video. And this video is going to be a little different, but I think this is going to be able to add a lot of value to you guys because it's going to give you more energy and improve the quality of your life. So this is going to be a very transparent video. And in this video, I want to share with you 5 bad nighttime habits that I know I need to change to improve the quality of my life. If you guys don't know, I'm really big into researching various self-development tips and tricks and health and fitness and productivity. And I know these 5 habits that I'm gonna share with you that I'm not currently doing and things that I need to do, like I've got to stop. I've got to start working on it. So I wanted to share this with you to not only be transparent, but to kind of keep myself accountable, because there's a lot of things that are inside our minds that we know we need to change or things that we need to do, but it's kind of just an idea. But when you write it down or you share it with a friend, or if you're crazy enough like me to just put it out there to the world on camera, it becomes real and it becomes a problem, and you actually need to look at it straight in the face and say, you know what, I'm not putting up with this anymore. I am going to change it. So let's get into these 5 nighttime habits that I need to change. These are habits that occur at nighttime, typically about 3 to 4 hours before I go to bed, and up to when I, lay my head on the pillow and go to sleep. So let's get into this video and let's jump right into it. So the first habit that has had a negative impact on my whole entire life, and it's led to a lot of weight gain. It's led to poor sleep, indigestion issues, gut issues, is eating right before I go to bed. I want to know right now in the comments, who here eats a big meal right before they go to sleep? I'm not talking about a little snack like a protein shake or having a couple of nuts or like a little green juice or something, but I'm talking about who here eats a really big meal, like, heavy meats or heavy carbs or pasta or rices, or, just a big meal right before they go to bed. Because I don't know about you guys, but I've actually tested this and I've experimented going to sleep and not eating within like 3 hours. So having my last meal at like 7 o'clock and then going to bed at 10. I've experimented with that versus eating a big meal at like 9:30 and then going to bed at 10. And I found that I wake up, if I am eating right before I go to bed, I wake up super tired, groggy, it's hard to get out of bed, my motivation's low, and sometimes I'll have like little throat issues and like indigestion issues. It's really, really bad. So I found that just in terms of my energy and productivity and my mindset and motivation, that it's really important for me to stop eating right before I go to sleep. So one of my goals that I'm committing to right now, it's something that I've been kind of working on. I've definitely gotten better with this over the last year since I've lost 35 pounds, but I'm committing to cutting off my eating at least 2 hours before I go to bed, and even better, 3 hours. So I typically go to bed around 10 to 11 o'clock at night, sometimes midnight, so anywhere between 10 to midnight, and I'm committing to at least 2 hours before bed, cutting off big meals. If I want to have a little snack, I will. But experiment with this and play with this, guys. You'll find that you'll lose fat, you'll have more energy, and you'll just be more productive the next day. So that's one habit that I definitely need to change in my life. The second nighttime habit, and this is horrible. I've been doing this my whole life, and this is probably one that scares me the most, and this is like the toughest for me, is one thing I know I need to do is I need to cut out the electronics right before I go to bed. So how many of you guys go to sleep watching TV, or you go to sleep with like your laptop or your cell phone in your hand? Maybe you're scrolling through Instagram, or you're working on the laptop or doing that. Like, how many people do that? Well, I'll tell you, I've been doing that for years, and it has been like just destroyed. It's destroyed like my productivity the next day. I wake up tired. Like, there's actually been studies of the blue light that comes out of electronics can have all these like negative impacts. I don't remember all of them off the top, but there's a lot of negative impacts to that blue light. And I've actually installed different like Chrome extensions and something on my phone to cut out that blue light. But I know for a fact that watching like TV and movies and checking my phone, it's like overstimulating my mind. And it really makes it a challenge for me to go to sleep at nighttime. So that's definitely one of the things that I want to cut out. At least 2 hours before I go to bed. At least 1 to 2 hours. I haven't figured out exactly how long I need to cut this out, but I know it needs to be done in at least 1 hour before I go to bed. Get away from all electronics. All right, so the third bad habit that I know I need to break, and one of those nighttime habits that I've struggled with just as much as having the electronics in my bed and, watching movies and screwing around on my phone, going through Instagram, is working in bed. So I know this kind of stems from number 2, but a lot of times I find that I'm overstimulating my mind at nighttime. So that could be either, you know, planning and strategizing right in bed, like right in my bed, right over here, like planning and strategizing, or like writing part of a book, or like creating a YouTube video, or like who knows, like I'm always strategizing and planning or working or doing customer service in my bed, and I know that's something I need to cut out. And again, the main reason why I need to cut this out is because I'm overstimulating my mind. You know, as an entrepreneur, I'm sure you guys can relate, your mind is always racing. You always have 1,000,001 ideas. But the thing is, when you're getting ready to go to sleep, it's important that you're able to fall asleep easily so you can wake up and feel rejuvenated. And I've found, and I've kind of been struggling to get to bed at a normal time, is because I'm overstimulated. So I'd really like to make that commitment that at least a couple hours before I go to sleep. So if I'm gonna go to bed at 11 o'clock, let's just say, by 9 o'clock, I've got to make a rule and cut off completely working. So I think that's one of the challenges that we face as entrepreneurs, is we have this free schedule of just doing whatever we want when we want. But the problem is, sometimes things can get out of control and can overlap into other areas and have an effect on your life in a negative way. So that's one thing that I'm committing to you right now, is I'm gonna stop working in bed. I feel like the bedroom should be a place where when you get there, it should be relaxing, you're ready to go to sleep, it's a safe environment. You shouldn't be bringing your work into bed and overstimulating yourself before sleep and watching movies and stuff. Like, one of the things that I know that I need to improve upon is my energy level, especially in the morning. And a lot of the times it's poor because I'm just eating before I go to bed, or I'm overstimulated at night, or I'm not getting enough sleep, or I'm watching movies. So that's definitely one thing that I need to improve on, and one thing that I'm committing to you guys right now. The fourth habit that I know that I need to improve upon is sticking to a consistent sleep schedule during the week. So I'm 30 years old. I'm not gonna beat myself up too much on the weekends about this, but at least Monday through Thursday, or Sunday through Thursday, I wanna make sure that I'm getting to sleep at a respectable time each and every day. So during the week, I'm typically waking up around 6 in the morning, going through my morning routine, and then meeting my personal trainer for around 8 in the morning for, you know, sometimes it could be upwards to a 2-hour workout when all is said and done. So if I'm waking up and I'm only getting 6 hours of sleep, it's really having a negative impact in my life. So one thing that I would like to commit to, and one of my bad habits, is sometimes falling asleep at 1 o'clock in the morning or 2 o'clock in the morning, or sometimes 12:30, and having to wake up at 6 and just not having enough sleep. It's, you know, it's hard to be an entrepreneur, and it's hard to go to the gym for 2 hours, and it's hard to do everything that we need to do, especially if you're trying to live a high quality life. It's very important that you get adequate amounts of sleep, and high quality sleep. That's why I'm really beating this like a dead horse right now, because it's so important. We spend 1/3 of our life sleeping, guys. 1/3 of our life. That's crazy. If you live to 90, 30 of your years have just been sleeping. So this is why it's so important to build these positive habits that allow you to leverage your sleep time so you can really recover overnight and wake up feeling good. So that's definitely one of the things I want to work on, is having a 100%, there's no way around it. Like, this is a rule. Like, you're getting to sleep, you got to get into bed by 10 o'clock every night. No electronics, there's no working, you don't have a full stomach, you're ready to go to sleep, you're relaxed, you get into bed and you fall asleep. So that's the fourth bad habit that I need to work on right there. And my fifth habit right here, and this is something that I do every now and then, but it's definitely something that I want to start to do, probably I would say 2 to 3 hours before I go to sleep, is sitting down. It's non-negotiable, taking out a notepad and planning out the most important things that I want to accomplish the next day. I'm curious, how many of you folks spend a little bit of time, maybe 5 to 10 minutes the night before, and plan out exactly what your day is going to look like? I do sometimes, and every time I do, I have an amazing day, especially if I get a good sleep and I'm eating right and I'm exercising the day before. I have an amazing day because, you know, I've read a lot of self-development books, and I know Napoleon Hill talked about this in Think and Grow Rich, and he talks about the power of your subconscious mind. And he mentions in that book that by planning and reading your goals and planning out exactly what you want to accomplish the next day, when you're sleeping, your subconscious mind will actually go to work and start to figure out ways and efficiencies to be able to get things done. So that's definitely one thing that I want to be very consistent with during the week, at least 5 days a week, is 3 hours before I go to sleep, planning out exactly what I want to do the next day. Now, it doesn't have to be to the T, writing down a million different things, but at least eating my biggest frog. What does that mean? That one thing that if I took it out would have a huge impact and would leverage everything that I did. So just kind of planning out my day in advance is something that I really want to start to do. So hopefully you guys found value in this video. Again, to recap, one of the bad habits I want to stop is eating at least 3 hours before I go to bed. Falling asleep with electronics in my bed, I would like to cut that out at least 1 hour before I go to sleep and spend that hour before I go to bed. You know, I'm not married or anything, I'm a single guy, so if I had a family, it would be family time, you know, the last couple of hours. But since I'm a single guy, I would like to spend that like in meditation, or spend that, you know, maybe reading or relaxing or stretching or something like that, versus overstimulating my mind. Number 3 was quit working in bed. I would like to cut that out at least 2 hours before I go to bed. Quit the working. And again, the key is to lower the mind. You don't want to be so stimulated, right? Number 4 is not sticking to a sleep schedule. So I definitely want to get on a sleep schedule in terms of when I go to sleep. I have a sleep schedule in terms of when I wake up, but I really want to nail down non-negotiable. Steve, you're going to bed 11 o'clock every single night to make sure I get adequate amount of sleep and I'm consistent with my energy levels over the week period. And last but not least, planning my day the night before. So if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know in the comments, what are some of your bad nighttime habits that you want to improve upon, and which ones did I mention do you feel like if you implemented in your life and change would have a huge impact on your life? I'm curious to hear. So with that being said, guys, smash that like button and peace out to the next video.